Welcome back to DarkClues, where real crimes meet real mystery. Today, we're diving into the chilling case of JonBenét Ramsey, the 6-year-old beauty queen whose murder shocked the world. Grab a seat, and let's uncover the dark secrets behind this unsolved tragedy. It was the morning after Christmas in 1996 when the tranquility of Boulder, Colorado, was shattered. Patsy Ramsey, a former beauty queen, dialed 911 at 5:52 a.m., reporting that her 6-year-old daughter, JonBenét, was missing. She claimed to have found a ransom note demanding $118,000 for JonBenét's safe return. The note, unusually lengthy at over 2 pages, was riddled with peculiar phrases and demanded a sum eerily close to the bonus John Ramsey, JonBenét's father, had recently received. Despite the note's instructions not to involve the police, Patsy made the call, setting off a chain of events that would captivate and confound the nation. As officers arrived, they found no signs of forced entry. The Ramseys' home, a sprawling residence, was soon filled with friends and family, potentially contaminating the crime scene. Hours later, John Ramsey discovered JonBenét's lifeless body in the basement, a cord around her neck and wrists, her mouth covered with duct tape. The discovery raised immediate questions. Why hadn't the basement been searched earlier? Who could commit such a heinous act? The autopsy revealed that JonBenét had suffered a blow to the head and had been strangled. There were signs of sexual assault, but the evidence was inconclusive. The cause of death was asphyxiation due to strangulation associated with craniocerebral trauma. The brutality of the crime, coupled with the lack of clear evidence, left investigators grasping for answers. From the outset, suspicion fell on the Ramsey family. Critics pointed to the ransom note's peculiarities, the lack of forced entry, and the family's behavior. However, the Ramseys maintained their innocence, asserting that an intruder was responsible. The media frenzy that ensued only muddied the waters, turning public opinion against the family. As days turned into weeks, the case grew colder. Despite numerous theories and suspects, no arrests were made. The Boulder Police Department faced criticism for their handling of the case, including the failure to secure the crime scene and the decision to focus primarily on the Ramseys. The lack of progress only fueled speculation and conspiracy theories. In 2008, the Boulder District Attorney's Office officially cleared the Ramsey family of any involvement, citing new DNA evidence that pointed to an unknown male. Yet, the question remained: who killed JonBenét Ramsey? In the years following JonBenét Ramsey's murder, the case became one of the most talked about and controversial unsolved mysteries in American history. As more details emerged, so did countless theories, some plausible, others deeply speculative. Yet each shared one goal: to make sense of a crime that never quite added up. One of the earliest theories to dominate headlines was that someone in the Ramsey family was responsible, either Patsy, John, or even their 9-year-old son Burke. Many pointed to the ransom note, which investigators believed could have been written inside the home. It used oddly theatrical language, referencing lines from popular movies like Dirty Harry and Speed. The handwriting analysis proved inconclusive, but some experts thought it matched Patsy's. Critics of the family also found the $118,000 ransom demand to be bizarre. That exact amount matched John Ramsey's recent work bonus almost to the dollar, something only someone inside the family or company might have known. Combined with the fact that there were no signs of forced entry, and that JonBenét's body was found by her own father in an area of the basement police hadn't thoroughly searched, the suspicion only deepened. Then there was Burke Ramsey. Some armchair detectives theorized that Burke, possibly out of jealousy or rage, had harmed JonBenét during a sibling argument. The theory suggested that the parents had then covered it up to protect their son. This idea gained traction in part due to JonBenét's autopsy, which revealed partially digested pineapple in her stomach, despite no mention of pineapple in the events of the night before. A bowl of pineapple and milk was found in the kitchen, with Burke's fingerprints on it. But no physical evidence directly linked Burke, or either of his parents, to the crime. And over the years, many of the early accusations against the Ramseys have been called into question. Meanwhile, other theories pointed outside the family. Some believed an intruder had broken into the house, possibly through a basement window that was found broken. Though John Ramsey said he had broken it earlier to get into the house after being locked out, it remained a point of contention. A suitcase was found under the window, which some thought could have been used by a perpetrator to climb in or to remove the body. But JonBenét was found inside the house, not taken. One suspect who gained significant attention was a local schoolteacher named John Mark Carr. In 2006, Carr confessed to killing JonBenét, claiming it was an accident and that he had been in love with her. But DNA testing quickly ruled him out. His confession, it turned out, was a hoax, possibly an attempt to escape legal troubles he faced elsewhere. He was never charged. Another theory focused on a man named Bill McReynolds, a neighbor who had played Santa Claus at the Ramseys' Christmas party. Some thought he had an unhealthy fascination with JonBenét, but again, there was no solid evidence to implicate him. The DNA evidence taken from JonBenét's clothing remained one of the few concrete leads. In 2008, new advanced testing techniques revealed that a foreign male DNA profile, found in her underwear, did not match anyone in the Ramsey family. This led the district attorney to formally apologize to the Ramseys and clear them of suspicion. However, the DNA didn't match anyone in national databases either, which meant that the identity of that individual remained unknown. There was also debate about the nature of the crime itself. Some experts believed the strangulation and head trauma pointed to a staged crime scene. They speculated that the garrote used to strangle JonBenét had been fashioned from materials inside the home, again raising the question of whether this was an inside job. Adding further intrigue were the inconsistencies in statements given by the Ramseys over the years. For example, they initially said they didn't hear anything unusual the night of the murder. Yet forensic experts speculated that JonBenét may have screamed, possibly loud enough to be heard. Over the decades, television specials, books, podcasts, and documentaries have explored every inch of this case. Theories range from the rational to the outrageous, involving everything from secret pedophile rings to government cover-ups. But none of them have brought police any closer to a conviction. To this day, the murder weapon has never been found. The identity of the person who wrote the ransom note remains a mystery. And no one has been arrested. As the investigation stalled, the media turned the tragedy into a national spectacle. JonBenét's pageant videos, dressed in glittering gowns and heavy makeup, were replayed endlessly across TV screens. To many viewers, she became the symbol of the hyper-sexualized child beauty culture, which only added to the public's morbid fascination. Overnight, the Ramseys went from grieving parents to objects of intense scrutiny and suspicion. The media's narrative quickly shaped public opinion. Patsy Ramsey, in particular, came under fire. Her poised demeanor during interviews, her carefully applied makeup, and her background as a former beauty queen fueled a perception of vanity and guilt. Critics argued that her behavior was too controlled, too polished, especially for a mother whose daughter had just been brutally murdered. Some questioned why the Ramseys held a press conference instead of cooperating more fully with the police in the early days. Others pointed to inconsistencies in their stories and accused them of lawyering up too quickly. But the Ramseys fought back. They went on national television, hired their own team of private investigators, and even published a book titled The Death of Innocence, detailing their perspective. They always insisted on their innocence and maintained that an intruder had killed JonBenét. In later years, they criticized the Boulder Police Department for mishandling the investigation from the beginning, claiming that vital evidence was ignored, the crime scene was contaminated, and the focus on them blinded investigators to other possibilities. Indeed, many experts agree that the initial police response was deeply flawed. From allowing friends to roam freely through the house before it was secured, to failing to thoroughly interview all potential witnesses early on, the case was marred by procedural errors. Some say that the Boulder police were simply not equipped to handle a case of such magnitude and complexity. As the years passed, the case grew colder, but never went away. Every few years, new documentaries or specials would air, reigniting interest and public debate. Burke Ramsey re-entered the spotlight in 2016, when he appeared on Dr. Phil to defend himself against renewed public speculation. That same year, CBS aired a controversial docuseries theorizing that Burke was the killer and that his parents had helped cover it up. Burke sued CBS for $750 million, eventually settling the case privately. The persistence of public fascination with the case is both haunting and revealing. For many, JonBenét became more than just a victim, she became a symbol. A symbol of failed justice, of media exploitation, of broken systems, and of the dark undercurrents that can lie hidden beneath perfect suburban facades. In 2021, 25 years after her murder, police announced they were reviewing new DNA testing technology to re-examine evidence. Hopes were raised once again, but no major breakthrough followed. As of 2025, JonBenét Ramsey's killer has never been found. No arrests have ever been made, and her case remains officially unsolved. What endures is the image of a little girl smiling in rhinestones, trapped forever in a tragic and chilling mystery. Her story still echoes through American culture. A puzzle with too many pieces missing. A case that has resisted resolution despite decades of effort. And perhaps that's what makes it so disturbing. It's not just the horror of a child's death. It's the way justice has slipped through the cracks, time and time again. If this case shook you like it did us, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Who do you think killed JonBenét? Share your theory in the comments. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep digging for the truth.